Almost everyone has heard of crypto. Far fewer can actually explain how it works. And that's fair because most explanations jump straight to jargon, blockchains, wallets, mining, consensus. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to build the whole thing up from zero, in plain English, one piece at a time, so by the end it actually makes sense. No hype, no price talk, just how the machine really works. Quick note first, this is education, not financial advice. Let's start with the simplest question of all. What even is crypto? At its core, a cryptocurrency is digital money that no single company or government controls. Normal money runs through trusted middlemen. When you send money, your bank checks your balance, moves the number, and keeps the record. Crypto replaces that middleman with a network. Instead of one bank holding the official ledger, thousands of computers around the world each hold a copy of it, and they agree on the truth together. That's the whole idea in one sentence. A shared record of who owns what, maintained by a network instead of a company. Nobody can quietly edit it. Nobody can switch it off, and anyone can join. That's what people mean when they say crypto is decentralized. Everything else, the blockchains, the wallets, the mining, exists to make that one idea actually work safely. So let's look at the record itself. That shared record is called a blockchain, and the name describes exactly what it is. Transactions get bundled together into a block. Each new block is stamped with the fingerprint of the block before it and locked onto the end of the chain. Because every block points back to the one before, you can't secretly change an old transaction. Altering it would break the fingerprint, and every computer on the network would instantly see the record doesn't match. So the blockchain is basically a history book that's right once. You can add new pages, but you can't tear out or rewrite old ones. And thousands of copies of that book exist at the same time, all kept in sync. This is why people call it immutable and transparent. Anyone can look, nobody can forge. Now, how does value actually move across it? Sending crypto is simpler than it sounds. Every user has an address, a long string of characters that works like an account number you can share. When you send crypto, you're broadcasting a message to the network. Move this amount from my address to theirs. The network checks two things. First, do you actually have the funds? Second, did the real owner authorize it? If both are true, the transaction gets added to the next block and it's done. There's no bank in the middle, no business hours, no permission needed. It settles directly, person to person, anywhere on earth. But that raises an obvious question. If there's no bank checking your password, what stops someone from spending money that isn't theirs? The answer is the most important concept in all of crypto: keys. Every wallet has two keys, a public key and a private key. Think of the public key as your mailbox address. You can hand it out freely and anyone can send you crypto with it. The private key is the actual key that opens the mailbox. It proves ownership and authorizes everything you send. Whoever holds the private key controls the funds, full stop. And here's the part beginners learn the hard way. A crypto wallet doesn't really store your coins. The coins live on the blockchain. The wallet stores your keys. So your wallet is less like a purse and more like a keyring. This is why you'll hear the phrase, not your keys, not your crypto. If someone else holds your private key, they control your money. If you lose it, there's no support line to call and no password reset. That responsibility is the price of having no middleman. So who actually keeps the whole network honest? With no central authority, the network needs a way for strangers to agree on which transactions are real. That agreement system is called consensus, and there are two main kinds. The first is proof of work used by Bitcoin. Computers around the world race to solve a hard math puzzle, and the winner gets to add the next block and earn a reward. That racing is called mining, and it costs real electricity, which is exactly what makes cheating expensive. The second, now used by most newer networks, including Ethereum, is proof of stake. Instead of burning electricity, validators lock up or stake their own crypto as a deposit. The network picks one to add the next block, and if they try to cheat, they lose their stake. One secures the network with energy, the other with money at risk. Both achieve the same goal. They make honesty the profitable choice. So thousands of strangers can safely agree without trusting each other. Next, let's clear up a distinction that confuses almost everyone. People use the words coin and token as if they're the same. They're not. And the difference is simple. A coin is the native currency of its own blockchain. Bitcoin is the coin of the Bitcoin network. Ether is the coin of Ethereum. They're built into the chain itself and used to pay its fees. A token is different. A token is built on top of an existing blockchain, usually using that chain's rules to create something new. Most of the thousands of crypto projects you hear about are tokens living on a chain like Ethereum or Solana. not their own separate networks. So a coin is the base layer money and a token is an app built on that layer. Keep that straight and a huge amount of crypto suddenly makes more sense. Now, where do normal people actually get any of this? Almost nobody buys crypto directly from the network. They use an exchange, a marketplace that matches buyers and sellers. There are two kinds. A centralized exchange, or CEX, is a company like the big platforms you've heard of. You deposit money, they hold your keys for you, and buying feels like any normal app. Easy, but you're trusting a middleman again. The other kind is a decentralized exchange, or DEX, which runs on smart contracts with no company in the middle. You keep your own keys and trade straight from your wallet. More control, more responsibility. Either way, when you place a buy order, it has to meet a matching sell order. And that matching happens on something called an order book, which is where the real mechanics of a market live. That's the layer we work in, so let's open it up. When a token trades, it trades on an order book, a live list of every buy order and sell order at different prices. When you want to buy, you're matched against someone's sell order and the reverse. For that to feel smooth, the book needs to be full on both sides. Two things decide that. The spread, which is the gap between the best buy price and the best sell price, and the depth, which is how many orders sit close to the current price. Deep book, tight spread, and trades fill cleanly at a fair price. Thin book, wide spread, and even a small order sends the price jumping around. That's where market makers come in, and it's the layer we work in at EchoTrade. A market maker continuously places buy and sell orders on the book, so there's always someone on the other side of your trade. To be clear, a good market maker does not move the price or create demand. It keeps the book healthy and the spread tight, so real supply and demand can meet without the price whipping around. That's what turns a chaotic market into one that actually functions. Two last things every beginner should understand. First, why crypto moves so much. It's young, it trades 24/7 with no circuit breakers, and a lot of it runs on emotion and thin liquidity. That combination makes it far more volatile than traditional markets, up and down. Second, safety, because with no middleman, you are your own bank. That means guarding your private keys like cash, being deeply skeptical of anything promising guaranteed returns, and remembering that if an offer sounds too good to be true, in crypto it almost always is. The technology is powerful, but it doesn't protect you from bad decisions or bad actors. Understanding how it works is the first and best defense you have. None of this is a reason to jump in or stay out. It's just how the system behaves, so you're not surprised by it. So here's the whole thing in one breath. Crypto is digital money kept on a shared record called a blockchain, secured by a network of strangers instead of a bank. You control it with keys, the network agrees on the truth through mining or staking, coins run their own chains while tokens build on top. Exchanges are where you buy it, and liquidity is what lets it trade smoothly. That's it. Not magic, just a clever way to move value without a middleman. Understanding it won't tell you what any coin will do next, but it means you finally get how the machine actually works. That last piece, liquidity, is what we do at EchoTrade. As market makers, we keep order books healthy for tokens across more than 90 exchanges, so the markets you just learned about actually function. If you're building a token and want deep, healthy liquidity, there's a link below for a free consultation. And if this made crypto finally click, subscribe. We break down how it all really works, one piece at a time.